Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of Underrail. So, we basically just got all of our, first game exposition done, and we're about to do our first quest. So we're here in the caves. This is the Crossroad Caves. And this is old Jonas. So Tanner was talking to us about him. Said he'd seen most of the place. An old man wearing an old coat, old pants, and old boots introduces himself with an amiable smile. So, it's the young Sophia. Off to do some hunting? I hear you're very knowledgeable about these tunnels. I could use some advice. Been crawling them tunnels all my life. What do you want to know? What can you tell me about the abandoned outposts nearby? The nearest one is just north of the Crossroad Watch. They stretch to the east and to the west from there. They were built by Omega Station, but are somewhat in ruins since we put them out of business. Plenty of rathounds there now. Oh, and if you're heading there, could you do me a favor? I was scavenging near those outposts a while back, and I think I lost my old digital watch there. It was about this big and made of metal. It doesn't have a strap on, so I keep it in my pocket. It must have fallen out somewhere. If you keep an eye out for it, could you keep an eye out for it? If you bring it back, I'll make a good bargain for it. I'll keep an eye out, but I can't promise anything. That's all I ask. And so, I'm only going to ask him about the creatures in this area, but you can ask him quite a lot of information about Underrail and all sorts of kinds of stuff. I think I'll ask him about the creatures and the tunnelers. Well, there's cave hoppers, mole crickets, rathounds, side beetles, and rarely shadow crawlers. What critter are you interested in? Tell me about cave hoppers. They're harmless little critters, quite tasty if cooked properly too. You'll generally find them near lakes and other wet caverns, because that's where their favorite food, lake mushrooms, grows. They can find it hard. They can be hard to hunt down sometimes because they're fast little buggers and can crawl through small crevices that wouldn't think that you could ever fit in. If you're looking to catch one or kill one, best tactic is to hide near some lake mushrooms, and they'll ambush them when they come to feed. What do you know about mole crickets? They're probably the smallest of the big insects, but they're aggressive and will attack you if you come close. But they're not that dangerous usually. You can just stomp them or smash them with a crowbar or something. Their bites are weak, but it should be fine as long as you have some armor on. They're also acidic, so don't let them nibble on you too long or else you'll feel the burn. What about rathounds? Rathounds are ugly, smelly, mangy, disease-ridden, dog-sized rats. You can find them anywhere. And if you can't find them somewhere, know that they'll get there too eventually. Individually, they're not so tough, but they usually move around in packs, sometimes hordes. They're very good pack hunters, so don't let them surround you. Yeah, so this is what I was saying when we were talking to Malcolm. As opposed to a lot of RPGs, when you start, you get rats, and then you punch them twice, and then they're dead. In this game, rathounds can absolutely gang up on you and destroy you very early on. Honestly, your first ever encounter with them. So yeah, just be very careful. It's very good to try to, as much as you can, take them on one at a time. If you're in a pinch, throw flares. They're deathly afraid of fire. Side beetles? Now that's a critter you just want to steer clear of. Scientists call them azure something because of their blue stripes. But the rest of us just call them side beetles or side bugs for obvious reasons. They're bugs that can sling all kinds of psionics at you. If you bump into one, you might be able to take it, but it'll literally give you a headache. If you bump in... Oh, I thought I clicked this. If you run into two of them, you better start retreating while you can. At least they're not that fast, so you won't be able to evade them. So you should be able to evade them. If you run into three, it's probably already too late. You see, the weird thing is, not only do they hit you harder when they're in a group, but they also start throwing crazier and crazier stuff your way. More of them join the fight, and if there's also a Goliath around, you're in for psionic hell. If you absolutely must fight them, try to get in close and personal. They're not comfortable with exposing their massive brains to sling psionics while people are near them. Not even the Goliaths. Instead, they will rather either try to gain some distance or just bite you, and their bite is far less dangerous than their psionics. Goliaths have big horns, however. Those can easily go through a man. Side beetles usually hang around mine shrooms, so if you're in the area where there's a plentiful, keep on your guard. What about these shadow crawlers? These are probably one of the worst enemies that you find. Vile, awful insects that crawl around on the cave walls. All quiet and sneaky, they surprise their victims by injecting them with a good, healthy dose of paralyzing venom, then retreat to the shadows until the poison makes you stiff as a rail, and then they eat you. He chuckles. Don't start quaking yet, because they rarely are seen close vicinity to SGS. But out there, in case you notice things are getting a bit too quiet, be on the lookout. Yeah, shadow crawlers are like one of the first enemies that you find in this game, and you're like, okay, like, how do I even counter this? Yeah, shadow crawlers are quite nasty. In the harder difficulty versions of them, they get even worse. I'm sure you can imagine. What are these tunnelers I've heard people mention? Thing is, no one really knows for sure who they are. They're nomadic people of the deeps. People around these parts call them tunnelers because they are known to dig wide, sprawling tunnels throughout the underground, connecting remote places of the Underrail. Yet, again, no one knows why they do that. Some say they have a huge city in the middle of the deep caverns that you can reach if you follow the longest of their tunnels. Some also call them the Faceless, because they believe that under their huge masks they have no face. Superstitious folk don't like saying that word, though. They say it can draw their attention to you. Are they dangerous? Very, but they're not always hostile. From my experience, it's the smaller groups or individual tunnels that you should be aware of. Larger groups generally tend to leave Underrail folks alone as long as they ain't bothering them. So you've met them personally. Don't think there's much of this underground world I haven't seen yet, but that's a story for another time. Dang it, old man, you always hold back on the important bits. Haha, a good storyteller always leaves his public wanting more. See you later, old geezer. Alright. As you approach the passage, you can hear faint squeaking sounds coming up ahead, and a pair of red, beady eyes blinking out into the darkness. That's the game telling us we're going to fight rathounds. There's one. I'm going to try to get him to run to me. Yeah. Notice I have a 95% chance to hit him now, as opposed to before I had like a 60% chance. Ooh! Got him in one, too. Really? There's no more rathounds in this area? I doubt that. Oh, I was about to say. Oh, I don't have my skills in my bar. Okay. Sprint. We're not going to be using pickpocketing. We're not going to be using stealth. We're not going to be burst firing either. I'm going to sprint to get away from this guy. I'm going to sprint all the way over here. Bam. Oh, yep. I was going to say, I know there's another guy coming somewhere. Now these guys are trapped behind a fence, so they're actually going to be really easy to take care of. Oh, I have to equip this. Alright. Now we're going to use crossbow bolts that Quentin gave us. There we go, I got one finally. There we go, and there's another one. I'm just doing this to save money, honestly. I don't need to be wasting 44 rounds on rathounds. 44 rounds are pretty expensive, honestly. There we go, there's all of the equipment that Quentin wanted us to get. Kind of nice. We discover a trapdoor. That's going to be nice. So this is how oddity XP works. So you notice down here I have experience 0 out of 4. And this one, I can find a lockpick in this locker, but there's also border god orders. These old blood-stained orders were issued by the Omega Central Command to their border guards. The orders state that guards are to shoot anyone they perceive as SGS member on sight. Also, 1,000 Charon's bounty is placed on the one called Gorski. Pickup. Study this item to gain 1 point of experience. You can study this item up to 3 times. Studied 0 out of 3. So I can find this again in another locker or chest or something like that somewhere else. But I can only do this a maximum of 3 times. So if I find a 4th one, it's kind of useless. So that's how oddity system works. And I think the biggest complaint about oddity is once you find a 4th one of those things, you kind of are like, you know. But, I mean, there's drop off to classic XP too, because you can't just, oh, actually, I'm not going to go here just yet. You can't just, like, kill rathounds and get tons of XP. You know, they'll give you, like, 5 XP instead of other enemies will give you, like, hundreds of XP. Oh, you can also buy stuff from him. What do you... Back again. What can old Jonas do for you, youngster? What are you doing here? Just sorting through some goods I scavenged today. Want to take a look for something you like before I take it to the station? I offer a fair bargain. Sure, let me see what you have. He wants a lockpicking device. Sure. Oh, it's literally worthless. Buy 4 batteries off you. How much is that going to cost me? $70? It's quite a bit. We need to go back here to get a hacksaw. I forgot. And I think I'm also going to buy a grenade. And we can turn in our quest to Quentin, actually. Maybe that's too much stuff to do. Oh well. We'll go to buy a hacksaw, like I said I was going to do. As he turns around to face you, you immediately notice there's something off with this man. His face is pale and hairless. He is missing one of his eyes, and instead, wires protrude from his eye socket, traveling over the side of his face and disappearing down the back of his neck. The other eye is almost completely colorless, with the pupil so contracted that you question whether he can even see at all. He speaks with a calm and even voice. Hello, Sophia. I'm Ezra. I act as the head network administrator and chief of the entire engineering sector. Do you have anything to trade? Oh, he has this. We'll wait on that for a bit. So now we can hack things, which is nice. Let's go to the shooting range. Let's go buy a grenade or 2. Stock. I don't need crossbow bolts. Don't need any of this ammo. Do you want this? You do want this. That's awesome. Let's buy 3 grenades from you. $14 for that. Okay. Don't really have much of a choice. Alright, agronomy. Go back to Quentin. Quentin's gonna be our friend for quite a while because he both teaches us metathermics and he buys. Forgot something? Do you have anything to trade? He stops working and sets aside the knife, carefully removing his gloves. Of course. Yeah, he buys animal organs and he buys leathers. So when we kill those rathounds, all of their stuff that he wants. He doesn't want any bolts. Oh, no, I guess. Cannot be sold. I guess he just doesn't want these. Yeah, you can just take them. I don't care. I don't want them either. Sorry. We should buy our size skill. How much money do we have? We have enough to do it. We're gonna be It's going to be close. Here's the tissue sample you want. Excellent. Give it here. I'm going to do my tests right away. Don't forget my training. Yes, of course. Just let me know when you're ready to begin lessons. I want to learn psi abilities. Tell me about cryokinesis. Basically, cryokinesis is any process that involves materializing and launching ice projectiles. Most commonly, the projectile takes form of a pointy shard. Aside from causing direct harm, it also can disperse cold vapors on impact. It costs you 50 credits to earn this. Agreed. Here you go. Begin your lessons then. Alright, and we learned our first psi skill, which is cryokinesis. It's basically psi sniping with cold magic. It's pretty nice. Let's go down here. Let's put the hacksaw on the shift bar. You can hold shift and control to give you different bars. You know, I saw a dead scavenger. She was being carried to medical. Rather not discuss that. Fair enough. Going somewhere? Tell me the gate. I'm off to the caves. That's a quest you can do. There's like a scavenger. Alrighty then. Let's go back to the caves. So now I believe over here. Oh, there's another XP. So nice. Border guard patrols again. A utility belt. We'll put that on. It grants us 2 more utility slots, but we don't actually need them right now. Nope, this was actually, we didn't need hacking for that. Oh, right. Can't do that just yet. So you have to go all the way over here to the east. We'll save. Buy some bandages. Dude, I'm just murdering everything with this gun. Man, look at that. Ooh, we got a rathound ear, and that leveled us up. Got some leather. Take some bandages. Here's the power generator. You insert the flux controller the Herald gave us. Turn it on. And now we can switch on the other stations. Here's some more XP. That's the last one of those 3. So now there's actually a thing over here, so you can look at the oddities after you've taken them. Fancy rathound ear. This rathound was sporting a small gold earring for some reason. But see, it's studied 3 out of 3 times, so now we can't study that anymore. And I'm going to make a new save. I usually make a save every time before I level, because there's no such thing as a way to respec in this game. You can just only go back to previous saves. So, that's what I do. My cat is right on my desk. She is, like, making it so hard for me to move my mouse around. Okay. So, second level is an even level, which means we do get a feat. Guns. We're gonna level up guns. We're gonna level up metathermics. Basically, I would recommend maxing your 2 damage dealing skills. Because why wouldn't you? Mercantile. I think I'm gonna get pretty close to max. We'll do some points of persuasion. And then mechanics. Let's do. What do we want? Let's do 10. Yeah. And then I could do tranquility. Tranquility would allow me to throw out a lot of cryokinesis. I'm gonna do tranquility first, and then we'll do six shell in a bit. Let's not grenade ourselves, that'd be really bad. Junk pile, do you have an oddity? Nope. Here? Nope. Take all that stuff. Aw, see, we already have max XP on this, so this actually doesn't do anything for us. And that requires hacking, which we have now. And it gave us a pistol. Power switch. So now we can turn these stations on. So every time we see a power switch like that, we can just flip the lever. Which is nice. We have more health hypo, so I'm going to use that right now. You weren't scared at all by that? Like 4 of your friends just blew up. Got another rathound ear, that's nice. Oh, we found the watch. Old wristwatch inside a dead rathound of all places. It's probably Jonas's watch. Alright, and there's a dude inside here, so we're just gonna save. Not anymore, attack. I should have hit enter faster than I did. You can try to intimidate this guy, but I don't have intimidation. Oh, that was 2 XP for a dog chew toy. Get a Reddit. Yeah, so these are hacking 17. So if I didn't have points in electronics and intelligence, I wouldn't be able to hack them. There's a mine shroom right here. And an elevator. Ah, again, border guard orders. Can't get in there because it requires lockpicking. That's fine. So that's what people. This is why people dump points in a lockpicking, is because they click on this and they're like, oh, I can't get in. I can't get in. There must be something amazing behind here. And then it's like this one. What was there inside here? There's like some bullets, like a steel dagger. But the one that you can't get in, you know, must be worth so much more. It's just kind of natural human behavior. This game it'll give you lots of options that you can do things like if you have hacking, you can open an alternate door to get to a quest easier, or if you have lockpicking, you can pick your way through a door or get into a ventilation shaft or all this other kind of stuff. But everything in this game is possible without stat points into specific things. Like, if there's something that requires stealth, there's also a way to get around it with strength somehow. It doesn't necessarily require strength, but it doesn't need stealth, is the important bit. Oh, I need to charge my thing. Some stuff in there. Power switch, we can turn that on. More border guard orders. An Omega ID card, finally something we don't have. Rathound boots. We're actually going to use this leather armor. We can't get in here because it requires lockpicking, so it's a good thing that we have this trapdoor. Now, so I've activated that place. I've activated this place. I've activated this one right here. And then technically this one. We said he wanted 5 besides this. Was the max. He said 3 to 5. So that means we just need these 2. And this one requires lockpicking, so I can't get in there. But this trapdoor, I was able. And I scouted this trapdoor because I had perception. I would have only been able to see that because of perception. If you don't have perception, you have to lockpick that door in order to get to it. But yeah, so you could have completed this quest with only 3. You would have just lost out on whatever the rewards are for doing 5, which is acceptable, right? That's the point of taking lockpicking or taking perception. That's kind of how this game rolls. You just can't have everything. You can't be good at everything. Commons in Cantina. Sophia. I've reactivated the power generator in all stations I can find. Good work, Sophia. We can now start the restoration process. Here are your credits. Excellent. So what's next on the agenda? There are a few more jobs waiting for you, actually. Brett needs some help to do a hopper roundup. He'll instruct you on what exactly you need to do and how to do it. Go speak to him on the agronomy level. After you've completed this task, come see me again. Understood. Nice, and I leveled up again. So I think I'm going to level up, and then we'll talk to Brett, and then that'll be the end of the episode. So guns, we want guns to be higher. We want metathermics to be higher. Now that we have 25, I think we can go speak to Quentin and get another metathermic skill. I'm not going to put points into that if it's not going to go higher. Mechanics we want to max, probably. Something like that. 10 more points. Let's just put it in biology. Biology is really good to start. Maybe I should have put it in mercantile. Oh, I already have mercantile. Yeah, we'll do it biology. Accept. So I'm talking to Big Brett and Quentin. I'm here to learn some psi abilities. Talk to me about pyrokinesis. There's not much to it at all. It's one of the most potent and destructive psionics known to man. You materialize a giant ball of superheated gas and hurl it far away from you as possible. It explodes on impact and burns everything to smithereens. It will cost you 250 credits to learn this. I still have a freebie. Sigh, I never should have made that deal. Let's begin then, shall we? Alright. And then here's Big Brett. You must be Sophia. They call me Big Brett, so you've passed all the tests, I see. It couldn't have been easy. Those are just getting harder and harder in recent years. I think they were just the right difficulty. You wouldn't want anyone getting in here, right? You're right. Indeed we don't. So anyways, what can I do for you? I was tasked helping you with Hopper Roundup. Very good. So say, you ever captured a Hopper? No. Ah, first go to the storage room. It's a room with 2 entrances just across the hallway. Get some dog crates. You'll need them to hold your quarry. Getting them inside won't be easy, though. As soon as they sense you coming, they'll scurry off and crawl through the crevice of the cave wall. So what you need to do is immobilize them before they can run away, either with Hopper traps, which unlike bear traps will ensnare them without snapping their bones in half, or with throwing nets. Also, if you can handle a crossbow, you can try shooting them with tranquilizing bolts. A single shot will drop a Hopper quickly, and then allow you to capture it easily. Now, you find all these in the storage room, and you're free to take as many as you need, but if you need more than what's in the storage room, well, I can only sell it to you. Your hunting ground is the Mushroom Cove. Head there from South Road Watch. From the Crossroad Watch, you'll need to reach a waterfall. Go past the waterfall and make a western tunnel exit after it. Now you'll come to a big cavern with a lake. That's the cove. I need 3 healthy specimens. Good luck. And by the way, I've also sent a young man called Newton to catch some hoppers. It's been a while. See if you can find him and learn what's taking so long. I'll get right on it. Alright. I think that's good enough for this episode. Let's equip pyrokinesis. Yeah, and so there's also a dock right here that you can go to. We'll be using it quite a bit later. Let's see if Coral's here. Do we get a Coral playthrough? We did get a Coral playthrough. Alright. A lot of people don't like Coral because she is mutually exclusive with another NPC in this game called Booth, who gives you stat benefits. Whereas Coral basically sells you bullshit. Hold on. I'm not gonna talk to her right now. I'll meet her again later. But yeah. I think the thing she wants to give me is expensive for me right now. So I'm not gonna buy it. But yeah, you can actually talk to her and she will sail you across the junkyard. The junkyard is right next to the area we want to go to, but we're just gonna walk there for our first playthrough. There you go. Hi to Malcolm. You know, I saw that dead scavenger being killed. I'd rather not discuss that. I already said that. Alright. Oh wow, there's some stuff in here I missed. Alright. I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and hope you have a good day. See you in the next one. We're going to go to Mushroom Cove, find some hoppers, and see what's taking Newton so long. So, see you then.